Hey gang, thanks for tuning in. It's Adrian. Today we are going to be putting a pork shoulder over some coals. However, it did not go as planned, and I had to make the best situation out of a mistake that I created for myself. However, I hung in there and encourage you to do the same and found a way to fail forward, learn a valuable lesson, and bail out a pork shoulder that had gone in the wrong direction. So enjoy. All right, welcome back. We are going to take the same approach with a pork butt as we took with the ribs. I'm not going to do probe thermometers. I'm not going to worry about the specific exact temperature. As long as the meat's arranged on the grill and it stays consistently there. We're going to start off by increasing the surface area on this pork butt as much as possible. So I'm going to cut cross hatches. We don't have to go particularly deep, but the deeper you go, the more surface area there will be for flavor and for seasoning and for smoke. Okay? So we're going to cut those cross hatches. We're going to turn 90. This will also allow some fat to render out. And although that fat is flavor, sometimes it's nice not to have huge hunks of it in pulled pork. Go on the back side. This is the procedures here is the same method we used for the rib video, which will be linked in the description. The biggest difference being that the ribs were on for 5 to 5.5 hours, and this will probably be on more like 10. So I am going to use a binder. We're going to use Worcestershire sauce. There is only one, Lee & Perrins. If you're not familiar with Worcestershire sauce, this is a sauce that has vinegar, garlic, molasses, sugar, anchovies, tamarind, and red chili. We're going to flip it over. We want to get all the flavor as deep down into the shoulder as possible. And it's also going to allow the penetration of smoke. Now, we're going to season with just salt and pepper. So, very gracious with the salt. This will all get shredded at the end. So all these muscles, which have different textures, will all be mixed together. And the seasoning, which might look heavy, will be mixed throughout. And I'm going to wash my hands and I'm going to crack the pepper. Go ahead and stop. And pepper. And we're going to put a lot of pepper on this. And the pepper will add flavor, and the pepper will also add texture. All right, and I'm going to flip it. Open these up. And then wash my hands so that I can use the family pepper grinder again. And we're going to season the backside of the pepper. Take it and get all the stuff. And it is ready to go on. Let's go make a fire. Lump hardwood charcoal, royal oak, nothing but the best. All right. Here we go in the 1937 white trash Walmart chimney. Broken match. And we'll let those skulls get to speed. right. So we got the fire there and the meat there. And we're going to keep as long as that temperature is between 350 and 400, we are going to be good. So here we are 2 hours in, and we are about 425, so it's a little warm, but that's okay. We'll take a peek at it. I've not looked at it yet. We've been on heat for 2 hours. Looks like it's got some good color. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with all the surface area, and certainly happy with that bark. And there's a shot of the coals. Probably going to turn it down just a bit, so I'll play with the vent over here. So close the vent about half, and we'll check it again in 2 hours. All right, this is 4 hours. Temperature's holding nicely. Let's see, get a look at the meat. Same meat looks good. And coals look good. So that bone's not anywhere loose. However, this might be a little faster cooked than I thought. So I'm going to take a 2 hour nap, and in 2 hours we might wrap this thing. And then the wheels fell off. I put the pork shoulder on at 8, which you saw. I checked it at 10, which you saw. I also checked it at midnight, which you saw. And then I figured I would take a short nap until 2 o'clock, which would have been the next time I checked the coals and checked the meat. And set that alarm for 2, and I never woke up. At 3 o'clock, I woke up in a rush to a crying and sick toddler. Now I was downstairs so as not to bother everybody, but one of the kids woke up and they were sick, and that pretty much threw me off the couch. I saw it was 3, so I ran outside and found coals that were completely burnt out and a pork shoulder that was heading towards shoe leather. But I knew it was not yet done. By the time I got everything back inside, it was a little bit after 3, and now the crying sick toddler was being tended to by my sick, pregnant, unhappy, and getting unhappier wife, who wanted to know why on earth all of the downstairs lights were on and what I was doing. Here was the resurrection. I took the pork shoulder and I put it in a disposable foil casserole pan, and I found 3/4 of a pourable carton of chicken stock. So, like the little, they're not little, they're probably 16 or 20 or 24 ounces. But they're the cardboard cubes with the pour spout on it. I took one of those that was 3/4 of the way full with chicken stock, and I poured it in the bottom of that disposable casserole pan. Put the pork shoulder in there and covered it with foil and set the oven to 200 because I knew that it was not tender. It had not reached temp, and the fat had not been rendered out. I set it on 200 and put it in there for 3 hours. At 6 o'clock, I pulled it out of the oven and I wrapped it in a towel. Now, unfortunately, angry pregnant wife and crying toddler, I didn't capture any of this. However, at 6 o'clock, I pulled it out and I wrapped it in a beach towel. Those large oversized towels, not a regular bathroom towel. I wrapped it in a beach towel until 10 in the morning, and at 11 o'clock we had the best pork shoulder that I ever made. So there are ways of resurrecting it, and in a world where we can edit things, and in a world where we can just push delete or turn something off like it never happened, the fact of the matter was I was having people over, and they were expecting to have smoked pork shoulder. It had a wonderful smoke ring. It pulled easy, and there was not a lot that I picked out. Obviously, the bone, and there was a few inner pieces of fat that didn't fully render. Maybe some connective tissue, but I'll put a picture in this video to show everything that I picked out. But it was absolutely fabulous, and I served it with a white Alabama, my version of a white Alabama sauce, which I can show in a later video. Coleslaw and pickles, and if people wanted a sandwich, they could have a sandwich. But the key is, in my opinion, really scoring that to increase your surface area for seasoning and smoke. I think that pork shoulder is a great intro to learning how to cook over coals, or if you want to say barbecue. There is a wide margin of error. It's a big piece of meat. You've got a long time over which it's gonna cook. You can't really over season it, and because you've got 10, 12, 14 pounds, you can always find a way to make your fire a little cooler and really stretch the cookout so that you get a quality finished product. And like I said, it was the best I ever made. So if you enjoyed this, please subscribe and like the video. And if you know someone that wants to cook a pork shoulder on a Weber kettle grill, or if you know someone that has messed up a pork shoulder and could learn a way to resurrect that, please share this with them. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much.